I didn't want the first video on my channel to be a story time, but unfortunately I have the video editing skills of a 5-year-old because I've never owned a camera. It's okay, bear with me. We got this. So this story is insane, literally insane. Every aspect of it, it's just wild. I wrote myself a little outline so I can get all the details. Just to give you some background about myself, I was not your normal high school, middle school teenager. I did rhythmic gymnastics competitively, so my whole life was literally training between 3 to 5 hours, 4 to 6 days a week, every day. I never drank, I never smoked, I never did anything in high school. I had 1 beer in my life at this point. I met this guy who I was dating for a while, rocky ass relationship. So we're dating, whatever. This story starts off. I am 17 years old, a junior in high school. It's Saturday, Sunday, competition weekend for me. I had a competition in the Valley. I lived in Mar Vista at the time, so I had to drive a while. Drove there, competed Saturday, everything was fine, and then I had plans to meet up with my friend Maya, who lived in Topanga at the time, and my ex-boyfriend at the time. We're gonna call him Joe because his name sounds absolutely nothing like Joe. If I get famous, no one can really find him because like I don't want hate or anything. I plan to meet my friend. Also, very important factor, at this point, Mercury is in retrograde. I know that's gonna sound really weird and silly at this point of the video, but this is gonna make sense. I go to her house. She's not there yet. I'm the only one in the house. She let me in. She's like doing something. Comes back. She got into a slight car accident that day, so she like skidded out of her car, nothing crazy. And then we had a mutual friend who was on our dance team in high school get into a car crash the day before at our high school. It's Saturday, my boyfriend at the time, Joe, comes over. We're hanging out, like talking, doing stupid stuff, and we get ready to go. Me and Joe leave Maya's house, and we get into the car, and Joe's like, oh, I gotta use the bathroom, I'll be right back. Cool, whatever. Do your thing. Joe leaves to go to Maya's house to go to her restroom. I hear a buzz and I assume it's my phone, but it was Joe's phone. And I look on the screen and it's his ex. So my boyfriend at the time was the grade above me. So he was a senior, I was a junior, and his ex was a sophomore. And basically our relationship was just, from the beginning, was incredibly toxic and messed up because I knew in my heart, since day 1 of the relationship, he was cheating on me emotionally. He was always going to his ex-girlfriend to talk to her. He always just wanted to talk to her instead of me about certain things. He always wanted to hang out with her, and he tried to make it seem like I was crazy and that it wasn't a big deal and that everything he was doing was fine. You get it, okay? Just a shitty, ooh, bad word. Just a toxic, not good relationship that no one should ever be in, no one deserves to be in. I see the buzz and it's his ex-girlfriend. She says, I don't remember her exact words, but she says something along the lines of, oh, it was really nice seeing you last night. I really miss you. We need to hang soon, blah, 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 blah. At this point, I'm enraged. I'm so angry because when we became officially boyfriend-girlfriend, he promised to me that they wouldn't keep in contact and that this wouldn't be a thing. And obviously it was still a thing. So he comes back into my car. I'm angry. I'm 17. I didn't know how to react, so I just held that in. I held the anger and the rage in. I felt like he didn't like me as much as her at the time because I did gymnastics my whole life. Like I said, I didn't have a normal high school childhood. I went from high school to practice almost every single day. I didn't hang out with my friends after school. I didn't do homework after school. I would literally do homework after practice at around like 10 p.m. I was also not able to hang out with him as much as his ex, for example. We're in the car, we're driving, and if you don't know what Topanga is, Topanga's like, whew, 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 like a crazy road, and it's intense. I think it was around 10:30 p.m. I want to say. My curfew was 11 p.m. We're driving, I'm angry. I'm speeding, first of all. I'm also completely sober. I didn't drink, didn't smoke, like I said. I never done any of those things, but I'm mad. And you can clearly tell I'm angry. And he looks at me and he's like, what's wrong? Like, you good? Like, chill out. You need to slow down. I don't care. I was just so angry. The sad part is that I never even loved him. I've honestly never loved any of the people that I've been into a relationship. I would feel obligated to tell them I love them because they would tell me that they love me. And well, that's like another story. That like doesn't even matter. I didn't even love him. And for me to be this angry over what? Over someone who's practically nothing to me? I mean, I really liked him. I thought I loved him. But someone who's doing this to me, I'm gonna be this angry over? But nothing. It was stupid. It sucked, and I was angry, and he kept telling me to slow down, and we get to this sharp turn. I just completely lose control. And to give you a little idea of what Topanga looks like, on this side there's a cliff, and then on this side there's like the mountain, right? And I lose control, and I couldn't be able to tell you how many times my car flipped, how many times my car spun. I can literally feel my heart beating so fast when I say this, because comment down below if you've ever been into a car crash and I want to hear your story. When we were in this car crash, it literally felt like everything was in slow motion. From the obvious, the actions was like this, but I felt like this the whole way. The car crash probably was maybe 10-15 seconds of us spinning and flipping, and it felt like an eternity. I've never been so terrified in my entire life. I've never experienced something like this in my entire life. The car finally comes to a stop. I'm just sitting here shocked, and he's sitting here, and I honestly, guys, like, I literally thought he was dead because we didn't say anything to each other for what seemed like forever. And I finally look at him. Are you okay? Is everything okay? And he's just like, fuck. I didn't mean to say a bad word, but you understand. It's obviously a severe situation. Man, what the F? And he gets out of the car, and I'm just frozen. Like, I don't even know what to do at this point. I'm terrified. This is literally my dad's car. My dad was planning on getting a new car before and then just leaving me this car. I totaled it. Like, it's ruined. I can't even drive this car anymore. And so he gets out, and then after a while, I get out, and people are driving by. Obviously, there's not that many cars. It's basically 11 p.m. at this time, and people are trying to stop, and I'm freaking out. And for some reason, my 17-year-old brain was like, if people find out that he was in the car with me, I'm screwed. So I tell him to leave. I'm like, you need to get out of here. I can't deal with this with you here. I just kept telling him that he needed to go because I didn't want to get in trouble for him being in the car with me. And he, basically our injuries, he had whiplash, obviously bruises, some scratches. We had a sunroof. I'll insert pictures of the car actually somewhere up here once I learn how to do that. I don't even know how to insert pictures in videos. I tell him to leave, and his friend, we'll call him Bill, finally gets a hold of his friend Bill. Bill comes, picks him up, and they go. I already forgot about him cheating on me. I didn't even care about that. I just texted him like, oh, I understand if you want to break up with me. I'm so sorry this happened. And I feel like if it wasn't for the car crash, I may have not I would have still stayed with him. I was just too dependent on being in a relationship because I wanted one so freaking bad. I didn't have a lot of friends. I had never even really talked to boys. Gymnastics was literally my whole life. So to have this boyfriend who's a grade above me, who so many people knew, I was just stuck in a toxic relationship. And the funny thing is that even after the car crash, he kept cheating on me. You know, obviously, it's inevitable. He was that kind of person back then. And what really finally blew me over the edge of the relationship was the fact that him and my best friend at the time were exchanging nudes. Love that for me. Thanks, sis. You know what? No regrets, because thank you, girl. Now I'm not in a toxic relationship, so you did me a solid. We don't talk anymore, but like, it's fine. Anyways, firefighters come, police come. I have an incredibly overprotective dad. Not as much anymore because I'm 20 years old, but back then I had an incredibly overprotective dad who despised Joe, the guy I was dating. Absolutely hated him, knew that he was cheating on me, and my dad was right, and I should have honestly listened to him, but I was 17 and didn't care. Firefighters come and they're like, are you okay? I'm covered in bruises and I have scratches, and my car was completely totaled, and by the look of it, I should have had way more injuries. I personally don't believe in God. I'm not really sure what I believe in, but I'm not religious, and my parents genuinely think that it was God who sent me an angel and protected me from this car crash. I literally, honestly, just think it was luck as to how we both survived. If you were there and saw the way my car looked and where we were, it's insane. And finally comes the time where I have to call my parents to pick me up. I didn't want to call them because I knew they were gonna be angry. They were gonna be so mad. I don't come from a rich family. Money's not a struggle, but we're not wealthy. We don't have money to just get me a new car or to fix expenses and things. This costs a lot of money. I'm screwed. Like, I'm literally screwed. I'm screwed. I messed up. I messed up. My parents finally come and my mom's like, oh my God. And my dad's so angry. Like, I ruined his car. His car's totaled. The car that he drove for so long, his baby, like I destroyed it. For what? Because some stupid boy cheated on me and I couldn't control my anger? I felt so bad. We come home, I just like go to bed. I'm not dealing with this. I hear my dad in the room just screaming like my car's ruined. Что я должен делать, ёб твою мать? Sorry, I didn't mean to curse, but I'm Russian if you didn't know. From a Russian household, so you can tell the situation. It's around maybe like 3 a.m. at this point. My mom comes into my room, she's like, you do realize you still have to compete, right? Like, you have a competition tomorrow to go to. I'm not like I'm mentally or physically messed up or anything, but I guess I'm gonna go compete. And so my mom wakes me up in the morning and she's like, you're gonna take my car and you're gonna drive yourself to this competition. So I literally just got into a car crash. I'm driving again like 35 miles. Oops, sorry. I'm driving 35 miles to get to this competition. And I obviously came late. I didn't have any of my makeup ready. None of my hair was ready. I looked like a mess. I looked messed up. I just got into a car accident the night before and I come, oh, and also quick note I forgot to make. When we got into the car accident, I called my friend Maya. I'm like, dude, I just got into this car accident. And she thought it was a joke. Obviously she thought it was a joke. Who just gets into a car accident within like 15 minutes of driving out of someone's house, especially in Topanga? I was like, no, this isn't a joke. She ended up staying home that night though, but that's traffic, you know. I literally caused so much traffic, so there was no point of her coming anyways. So I drove myself to the competition and my coaches are like, bro, you good? У тебя всё нормально? Ты okay? I was like, no. I told my teammates and I told my coaches what happened and they were like, okay, I mean, it's the Russian way, you know, gotta do it. So I go to the bathroom, I do my makeup, it looks awful. I do my hair, it looks awful. Mercury's in retrograde. It was either one of the coaches of a different gym or one of the judges got into a severe car accident on the freeway that day. The day before, our friend from the dance team got into a car accident. Then the day I got into my car accident, Maya got into her slight altercation. Then I got into my car accident. And then the coach or judge got into a severe car accident. Mercury's in retrograde. I mean, I don't know if something that had to do with the moon triggered some laws of physics. There's no way or mutual people could have got into a car accident within like 48 hours, you know? It's crazy. I compete. Obviously, I do I met both my routines awful. It was just awful. It was an awful experience. Thankfully, my dad got his like new car a couple weeks after that. I started working on top of doing gymnastics so that I could get a car because I had to drive. I had to drive to school. I had to drive to practice. No one could drive me. Both my parents were working full time. None of my friends' parents could drive me. It was a hectic, shitty situation that happened. I guess that's it. I literally, yeah. Like that's the end of the story. Comment down below your car accident if you got in one. Poo poo poo. Hopefully you didn't, hopefully you never will. Thankfully I am now just an amazing driver. Not to stroke my ego or anything, I would say I'm better than a majority of drivers, especially in LA. I would probably say I'm in like the top 10% of amazing drivers, and I personally know I'm never gonna get into a car accident again. My name is Gina, like and subscribe. Story times aren't gonna be the only things on this channel. If you guys do want some more story times though, I have a bunch of ideas for story times that I can totally talk to you guys about, and I also want to do a bunch of other stuff. And yeah, anyways, bye. Thank you. Love you.